All right, guys. So, a few things going on. It's never a dull moment in this place. For starters, I'm probably gonna buy another car, like tomorrow. I know what you're saying. Nathan, you got a problem. Your shop's almost full. I know. Can't say what it is, but our negotiations with the guy, we're within less than $1,000 of each other on the price. So it'll probably happen, but you never know. Second thing, we got new shop lights. You can see it looks like operating room in this place. I have to give a shout out to our good friend Rich of telling me about this type of light. And I'll put a link on Amazon if you guys are interested, but the drawback is you need a pretty tall ceiling. That's LED floodlight type light, and I'll show it with it on. You're not gonna be able to tell anything with this camera. We have one there, and we have one right there. Now, let's see here, I'm gonna turn this light off. You can see it makes a hell of a difference. And I had a plug I put up there, so I can't permanently do the wiring on the ceiling until we put the ceiling in. Well, actually now I probably could. I just have temporarily an extension cord running from this one to this one, because I didn't want to cut anything until I know they're gonna work out. Once I cut the plug off of that and hardwire it all in, then we can't send it back in case something happens. So, there is that. You can see here, I'll go over to this one and take a look. And it's a 240 watt LED pod. I think that's a 12 or 14 inch, I think it's 14 inches across. So it's pretty damn big. And like I said, it's a cob light, so it has, I don't know, probably 1,000 LEDs in it. You can see them going around and around and around, little rows in there. And they do pretty damn good. I'm pretty impressed with them. They were 5K on the brightness, which is just about right. Look at that. That's good, isn't it? We got the bay door open, the one bay door open. We're getting a little light through there too. But in other news, we got the car on the rollers. These are the upgraded Harbor Freight rollers, and the old ones are pretty flimsy. Like, you ever had a set of the older ones, the black ones, just the swoop in them? These roll pretty good. For one, my floor is not clean. It's got water all over from this car, and it's got little bits of dirt on it, so we need to do a sweep in here. That being said, it's a little bit hard to roll, but I could do it still all by myself and no problem. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna get this car running. Well, you know, like maybe. I think we have stable in the gas. That's gonna be great if we do. I can hear there's gas in it. So that's good. I forgot to get a battery for it, but just a regular battery. And this car has a brand new battery in it that I unhooked so it didn't go dead. So I'll probably just grab that, throw in this one. It should fit in there. If not, we might have to just remove that guy just for a little temporarily wise. And I like to get in it, turn the key on. We're gonna have to do a few things here. We're gonna have to take the cap off the fuses. We're gonna have to roll them all because they get corroded. Maybe WD-40 that out. I've had Porsches before with those old style fuses. These actually look pretty good though, but you know, who knows? It's not exactly a very complex fuse box. Like I said before, what has me worried on this car more than anything is the points. In hindsight, I should have just ordered those right away. If we can't get it started, that's exactly what I'll do, because they weren't expensive at all. I see there is another coil wire in there on the floorboard, so I don't know what's going on with that. And somebody's got a black wire on number one. The fuel pump is up here. That is mechanical. That is also very cheap for the OEM. Focus, maybe. So all we could do at this point, it has oil. We got to check the coolant. That's not really our concern at this minute. And give it a crank and see if we're getting fuel up in there. And if we're not getting fuel, we could probably start it off of starting fluid, or having got some carburetor cleaner, it's a little more safe. and do that. But I'm curious to see if the engine seized or not. It shouldn't be. So let's see. It's got electric fan. It sounds like I've already unplugged the battery. It sounds like that heifer is about to come apart. Let me see here. I'm not sure where that electric fan switch is, or if there is a switch for it. So what we're gonna have to do. This car has factory AC too, or dealer add-on AC. Let's hook this back up. Let's start flipping switches. Yikes. Nope. Nope. Must choke probably. Nope. Oh hell, some windshield wipers. There it is. That fan sounds like it's about done. Let's give the engine just a little bump and see. Let's see it locked up, starter junk, or those connections aren't tight. Probably the latter of the two. Let me see. That one looked at least already tidy. Let's give this a little snug here. And then got my West Virginia socket set here. Putting those on with. Alright, let's give this another little clickety clickety. I'll put you guys up here maybe. Something like that. The starter of the solenoid is real weak. It's got almost a half a tank of fuel. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it seems like the starter is really weak. There could be another connection. Could be a ground connection. The ground's kind of shifty on it. Let me get a little bit of spray for this thing. Let's see if we just get the least fire off of carburetor cleaner or something. Okay, so there's no gas in the filter. I don't know how long that little tiny pump takes to get all the way up here. We're just gonna give a little squirt and try to start it again and see if we get to start for a minute. That should prime quickly. But this carburetor is probably petrified anyway. Just a little bit to see if we get to stumble and maybe get that pump to prime. I need somebody else here to spray this. I don't have anybody else close by. Let's see if we're priming on the pump. Yep, ooh, that stinks. Stinky, stinky. Yep, it's starting to prime. It's starting to get fuel in it. So let's baby spray it a few more times here and see if we get this hog to fire. Like I said, hard telling what's happening inside that carburetor. It looks good though. If he had stable in it and the carburetor's got stable in it, the seals might be okay. Well, I mean, you know, not gonna be okay. fire by itself there, but it could just be residual. It'd be so much easier if I had another set of hands. Oh, that stinks. Smells like something rotten. Where's the choke in this hog? I think that's a choke. Let's verify. Yep. There we go. I don't want to spray too much more of this in here, but also don't want to keep running the battery dead. Hasn't gone dead yet, but still. Let's just see if we're even spraying. What a tiny little carburetor. Tiny, tiny. It's spraying, and it smells like stable. It's squirted, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It should run here. It seems like the coil and everything's fine. That ether I got is not real strong either. Flood it, but then I don't think that's really too big of a situation when your carburetor is the size of a spraying. It's good. I mean, I don't know why it's not starting to gas. Probably just like non-flammable at this point. But I think we got a drain in this tank. Oh! Let me hit one more time and let's try to. That sounded really good. Oh, it smells like 1968. I probably need to choke it. Oh, boys. Anything leaking? Yep. Not bad though. These are dolly boxes here. I don't have anything else out here in this shop. Woo! Oh, look at all the crap that blew out of the exhaust. The hell? don't know what that means. That radiator dripping a little bit. Yep. Stinky, stinky. We gotta be careful because we're up on jack stands. And if the damn thing, something catches on fire, we can't get it out of here quick enough. Just a tiny little carburetor. Whoop. Not yet. Not yet. Choke's about over halfway off. Just don't know what that red light is. The gauges are kind of, these two are kind of foggy. They need to be taken apart and cleaned. Look at that. No tach, it has a clock instead of a tach, all VDO gauges. Like I said, between half and a quarter of a tank. Interesting. I like a constant drip there on the old radiator. It's like a hose. It's like a hose dripping, I would say. Oh. It's like the stable saved the day, boys. Push it off, it kills it, it needs to be shut off anyway. It's off. Man, I'll tell you what, that's exciting, big time. We dehomed some mice in the process, but stinky, real stinky. It runs. That was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. So there we go. I guess I need to figure out what's dripping. If it's a hose clamp, if it's a radiator. I could actually buy all this stuff, like OEM stuff, still off eBay. So if the radiator's junk, we'll just get a brand new OEM radiator for it. How cool is that? Judging by the oil dripping, I don't know. We're probably gonna have to take the engine out, re-gasket everything, just get everything 100% on it. I think the key is to get it running, which we've done. The next key is to jump onto the brakes on the back. The e-brake was on for like 10 years. So it rolls, but the brakes are kind of holding it back. We're gonna have to get in there. I could actually still buy all the brake stuff for it too. That's not even an issue. And before we do any painting on it, I want it mobile. So the issue is I don't want to spray anything in the shop, but we're probably gonna have to have access to legit paint gun. I've done a lot of painting before. We can put some nice chroma base, nice chroma clear on this car and make it a beautiful car. It doesn't need hardly any body work, so that's great. You know, just looking back here, all the trim in the trunk. I don't trip and break my neck here. Like all the bolts, like none of that's rust. It's all the factory paint. And then where was it at here? All the trim pieces are not rusty at all. I should be able to get all that stuff off. I'm gonna have to look up and see how to get all that crap off. And very interesting. There's a lot of trim on this car, and there's some rubber seals. This door doesn't open from that side. That are getting deteriorated, but they're not bad. But I can still buy all of that. And that's great too. And you actually see there's a little corner missing up there. Might be a little noisy on the little highway, huh? But everything's available and everything is not that expensive. You know, we're used to buying expensive parts for newer BMWs. Everything in this car is cheap and there isn't that much of it. And that's very exciting. So I don't know. For today's video, I'm gonna go and cut it off here. I gotta work at the E90s being perfect, boys. It wasn't perfect at all. It was being a real nightmare. And it didn't die at the stoplight with me, but I had like no accelerator pedal. And luckily I had the little scanner with me, the Creator scanner. I always keep that with that car. And it had been misfiring before. Like I said, the first time I drove it, nothing after we flashed it. Now, yesterday it was misfiring, had to keep resetting it. You have no power when it misfires, it won't stop until you turn the key off and back on, which you have to stop in that car to do, or reset it with the scanner on the fly. And finally got a Vanos code for it. Now it has new Vanos solenoids, OEM. It's had all the coil packs done, all these spark plugs. So either we might have a cam or crank sensor problem with that car. And it only does it after it heats up. And we know from doing past cars, they get like a blister on the end of the sensor and it changes the timing when the car gets hot. It like puffs out when the car gets heated up. I have all the sensors for that, so tonight I'm pulling the lower shop. We're gonna do that. This car has me impressed. Wish me luck, guys, on the car deal we're working with right now. I can't tell you what it is, I'm so sorry. If it don't go through, if it does go through, you'll know soon enough, probably like tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you soon.